Hey everyone. In this video, I want to do something a bit different and make a sort of open letter to anyone who may be contemplating suicide or who has previously thought of doing it or maybe even attempted doing it. You see, this is a really serious thing, and my goal here is to help people who may be thinking of going that route, because I'll be honest, I, in the past, have thought of it, and there was one time where I even sort of foolishly attempted it without any further planning, and I eventually came to the conclusion that it's just never worth it. And I'll give you my rationale, and I hope it can help you, but I understand that we're all different, we all think differently, and maybe this video won't help you, but I hope it can, just seeing my point of view on this. So, when I was younger, I used to be incredibly depressed. I had a few close friends, but not too many, especially in middle school. I was going through a bit of a rough time where I was super small. I was like I think I was under 5 feet for quite some time until maybe it was 7th grade where I finally surpassed 5 feet, or maybe not even then. So I was really short. So because of that, I was an easy target for other guys. And as we all know, a lot of people are insecure in middle school. So that meant all these other guys were insecure. So since I was short, I was an easy target for emotional bullying, and sometimes even physical, but not too much, because for some weird reason, guys know at least that if you pick on someone smaller than you, that doesn't mean you're tough, but they would emotionally bully me. They would make fun of me because I was small. And it was very emasculating, and it made me go into a bit of a dark place. And unfortunately, I didn't reach out to anyone. I didn't reach out to my family or friends. So I got to points where I was thinking about taking my own life because I just couldn't understand why it would be worth going through all that crap. I was probably depressed, to be honest, and I just felt really alone. But it was all my own doing. I mean, like I said, I didn't reach out to anyone, so nobody knew I was going through that struggle except me, which is horrible. If you're in that place yourself, don't try to take it on alone. I hope you have somebody you're really close to that you can be honest with and reach out to them. And if you don't, reach out to me. I'm here for as many people as I can be, and I definitely would want to talk anybody off the ledge. But I was foolish and tried to take it all on myself, and it just wasn't good. And I remember the one time I attempted it, it was thankfully rather ill-planned because I didn't think of it. I didn't really plan it at all. It just sort of happened where I knew that if you combined two chemicals, it would make this clear gas that if you inhaled could kill you. And thankfully I must have combined chemicals that were diluted or something. It didn't work, and I'm glad that it didn't. But I tried to do it, and I'm really glad to this day that I failed, because there's just something I've come to realize when it comes to suicide, and it's that life is a really incredible and beautiful experience. I mean, think about it. The fact that you're here, that you exist right now, that's insane, right? There very well could have been nothing in existence. Nothing. We can't even fathom what that would look like, because it probably wouldn't even be darkness, because that darkness can only exist when light exists. But if light doesn't exist, then there's no darkness. So we don't even know what the hell that would look like if there was nothing in existence. We can't even fathom it. And yet the universe exists, trillions of planets exist, trillions of stars exist, and we're here. How insane is that? It's incredible. And we truly don't know whether or not we only get one shot at this, to experience life as a human being on planet Earth. We don't know. Maybe we get more shots, who knows? Maybe we're all just energy floating around, and for a temporary amount of time we inhabit a human form. Who knows? We can't say any of this for certain. And because of that, all I can think of, and this is the mentality I've come to have on my own, is that it's just an incredibly beautiful and amazing experience to be a human being. And I mean all of it. All of the experience in totality, the good and the bad. I've come to realize that even experiencing the bad sides of life is still good, because it beats not experiencing anything at all and not being alive. I realized that at some point being alive is just so incredible because of all the things you can do, all the things you can experience, all the sights you can see, all the things you can smell. Just it's like sensory overload. And if you don't exist, if you take your own life, you miss out on all of it. And I understand that things can get really tough to the point where you wonder why you should keep going on. But even in that, there's a beauty. You're alive, experiencing that deep pain. And that pain makes you feel alive. It shows you that you're alive. I mean, think about how many people never feel anything as visceral as that. They don't feel that level of awareness. They're just kind of going through the motions of their life, and they never feel anything so deeply as that pain that you maybe have experienced. I've been there. I know what it's like, and I know that it sucks when you're going through it. But in a way, it's beautiful too, because it's experiencing that raw emotion that we're capable of creating and then feeling, and it very much makes you feel alive, or at least it does for me. And I know that somehow feeling that pain, I prefer that, or I would hope I prefer that than to not experiencing it at all and to not being alive. It's just incredible that we're even here. So feeling happiness is amazing, of course, we all know that. Feeling frustrated, not quite as amazing, but it's still an emotion. Feeling depression, same thing. That doesn't feel super great, but I would much rather feel that deep pain, that depression, than not being alive and not experiencing any of it. Because we don't know what that entails. We truly don't. You see, we only have a set amount of time on this earth. Maybe 80 years, it may be 60, it may be 100, it may be 20. We don't know. Why would you ever want to rob yourself of what you could experience in the future over temporary pain? And like I said, that pain is still, there's still a sort of beauty in it. It's still something that not many people experience, and it makes you feel so alive. I mean, I felt it, and it sucks, but I don't know. Not many people are capable of feeling that, I feel. So, in a way, if you're able to experience that and keep going, you're rare. It sets you apart from the crowd. And you'll be so tough and mentally strong going forward that it'll be hard for life to bring you down in the future. That right there is huge as well. In a way, if you can feel that deep pain without giving in to suicide, you have an advantage over everyone else going forward, especially the people who've had really easy lives, because they haven't had anything to toughen them up. And also they haven't felt what it's like to experience that visceral emotion where you just, I can't really even describe it, but if you've been there, you probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. Yes, it sucks, but there's still a side of it that's just kind of interesting in that you just feel alive. That's the easiest way I can put it. So if you're in that dark place where you're thinking about taking your own life, please just realize that it's temporary. It'll go away. Yeah, it may last a while. I can't put a time limit on it. Nobody can. We don't know. But why would you want to rob yourself of all the things you can experience in the future? Like I said, we don't know how much time we get as a human being on Earth. And it's freaking insane that we're here, that we even exist in the first place. Just please think about that for a moment. Just, if you can, find a quiet place and just sit down and meditate on that alone. You exist. You're here now. Why would you want to get rid of that over temporary pain? That pain will go away. Believe me, it will. I know it can take time. I know it can be rough, but it will go away. And something I've found that may help you is that pain goes away a bit easier if you don't try to ignore it or suppress it. I know that's really hard to do, but our emotions are kind of like a form of energy expression in the body. So like physics teaches us, energy can't be created nor destroyed. So when you're feeling those emotions, when you're feeling that energy, the only way it can get released is by you allowing it to be expressed. And then it likely will transform into some other emotion. So it gets, in a way, switched. So you can go from feeling depressed to feeling at peace, or feeling frustrated to feeling contented, that sort of thing. But if you try to ignore or suppress your emotions, guess what ends up happening? They linger. You don't allow them to be released if you try to hold them back. So I know that it's hard to feel that pain and that depression that you may be in, but when you feel it and you allow yourself to feel it and you allow those emotions to be expressed, they will get released at some point. But if you try to ignore them, you just make things worse. You make them linger. So as much as you can, draw up that inner courage and strength that I know you have in you, and see if you can handle allowing yourself to feel that so it can be released. And then hopefully you'll realize, as I did, that that pain is very much temporary. It will go away. And if you have the strength to get through it, like I said, life will be so much better because you'll have an advantage over everyone else who hasn't experienced that and who hasn't been toughened by it. I mean, that advantage alone is huge. It'll make your life so much better going forward because you won't be weak. You won't be one of those people who gets worked up over small stuff. You'll have walked a path that not many people have the strength to go through, and that sets you apart. That makes you rare. So please just realize that, and if there's one thing you take out of this video, please just realize that life is beautiful, and being alive is incredible and amazing, and it's like winning the frickin' lottery, but at odds that we can't even fathom. The fact that you're even here, that you exist, is so insane. I don't even know if anyone could ever just realize how crazy it is that we're all here. So please never take that away over temporary pain. It will go away at some point, I can guarantee that. I don't know how long it'll take, but as long as you have the courage and strength to keep moving forward, your life in the future will be so much better, and you'll be able to experience so many more incredible things about life that you shouldn't rob yourself of that over temporary pain. Anyway, I truly hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!